Hey guys, and welcome back to Miss Herb's art class. Today I'm going to be showing you how to take the photos that we organized from our last video and start to add them to our Adobe Spark website that we created in our last class. So if you watched the first video, you know that the most important part of this process is probably to get our photos organized so that we have them easy and ready to go to add to our specific assignments. So once we've done that last step, the next step is to go to the Spark page we've already created and to start building out the page so that it makes it easy to upload our photos. So if you go to spark.adobe.com, and you may have to log in, although if you've created your page, you should be able to go straight to your home page, which will look something like the one you see on my screen. The only difference is you've only created one project. I've created one for each class, so I'm going to have a lot of projects. I'm just going to go to my latest project and click on it here. And I'm going to go to that little button that says Edit Project. I'm going to click on it, and Spark is going to show me what I've already created. Now remember, this lives online, so once you publish this, anyone, anywhere, if they have the link, can see your work online, which is pretty cool. And it's a great tool to share your work with others. So in our last class, we've created our header for our portfolio, which is simply our name. And underneath it, it says Media Art Portfolio. And you'll remember we chose a background picture to help suck people in and get them hooked to want to see more. So I'm going to scroll down here, and you'll see in our last class we created in our About Me section to get folks interested in learning a little bit about us. Now we're going to start creating our specific sections. And you have the option to choose any 3 assignments that you've done for me to showcase your work from this year. So if you go into, and I'm going to pull up my actual assignment, which you guys just got assigned, it's going to say, creating your Spark Digital Media Art Portfolio content, specific content creation. So if I scroll down here, I'm going to see that I've got all the assignments listed out, and I can just go in and choose my top 3. You can do more than 3. It's a great way to get extra credit, but I'm only requiring 3. Just want you to put some effort into choosing which 3 assignments you're showcasing. You have, I believe, 7 or 8 to choose from. So if you don't remember what assignments are what, as you remember in our last video, everything's stored in Google Classroom. So I have the number and the title of the assignment that you can go back in and click on. You can see what the assignment was and what you submitted in Google Slideshow. Underneath, if you scroll down in this assignment, here's an example of what we're doing today. We're going to be taking our photos and putting them online. But if I scroll underneath, I've got a header for each assignment and a short description that you can copy and paste into your own portfolio. And you'll see you have rule of thirds, framing, contrast, perspective, which is like snail's eye and bird's eye, Halloween perspective, gratefulness, and then lastly, depth of field. So these are all projects you can use. Again, I'm only asking for 3 as a minimum requirement. So I'm going to go back up, and I'm going to choose that rule of thirds first assignment. And I see here I've got a description already for me, and I've got a title. So now I got to put that on my actual page and add the photos. I'm going to go back to Adobe Spark. And the first thing I want to do is create a header. So the rule of thirds assignment is just going to be called rule of thirds. I'm going to go to my text icon in that menu there, and I'm going to type in rule of thirds. Now, I know a lot of you like this assignment and like the photos you took, so it's a good one to start with. It's also kind of basic ideas around composition and layout and photography. So I have my header here, but it's small. It's body text, and I want to make it a big header. So if I highlight over that text I created, I have some options on the menu above it. I'm going to go over the very left, and I'm going to click on H1, which makes it header text, which is good to know. That'll make it like a header, and you can put smaller text underneath your photos. Now I have this header text, and I want to center it. I'm going to scroll all the way over to the alignment button on the right, and you'll see there's left align, center align, and right align. I'm going to align it to the center, which is going to put my header right in the center of the page. Now the next thing I want to do is add my photos. I'm going to go to this little button here, but before I do that, I want to remind you, if you're working on a laptop, like I'm doing in this video, you're going to need to go into your email to get the photos first. So you should have emailed them from your phone or your iPad. And you want to go into your email. And like I did in the last class, I'm going to click on the email that I say rule of thirds. And here are my photos that I turned in for the assignment. And underneath my photos here in the actual email, there's a button that says download all. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to download all those photos onto my desktop in my downloads folder. So I'm going to, and when it downloads photos, it usually will compress them or make them smaller so they're not so big. And that's called a zip file. Now, if that happened to you, you can click on the file itself to open it. And if I go into my downloads folder, I'm going to see that I have a folder that says rule of thirds, which makes it nice and easy to get my photos. So I am going to go back to my Spark page. And I know now that I'm going to need my photos to add to this page. So I'm going to go to this little plus button, click on that, and I have all these options. Now, a lot of you are going to be tempted to click the one on the left. Do not click photo, because that only allows you to add one photo. And when you're scrolling down a page, going through every single photo can get tedious. So I want you to group your photos by assignment. So rather than clicking the photo button, you scroll over to the right. You're going to see a button called Photo Grid. Click on that, and you'll see what this will allow you to do is add the photos to build your grid. And that's kind of cool. So you can group your photos and make it look nice and fancy. So I have my photo grid. Now I need to get the photos to put in it. So I'm going to go over to this button on the right. It says Upload Photo. And I'm going to go to my Downloads folder, which is awesome because I have all my photos downloaded. I'm going to click on the folder that says Rule of Thirds, and here we go. I've got all my photos. Now, if I want to upload all of them and put them on my site, I can, at least on a Mac, hold down the Shift key. And it will allow me to select multiple photos at a time. Woohoo! I'm going to go to Open. And then you'll see that on my screen, it shows me all these photos that I've uploaded that are part of this assignment. And this is nice. So I've got my photos in a grid, and I can actually click on the grid itself. Oops. If I double click it, it will give me the option to switch the order of the photos. So if you want one photo to be bigger, you can play around with that order by clicking on these little arrows. You can also replace a photo if you don't like a photo in this grouping. You can delete a photo if you only want 4. If I delete it, it's going to look like that. So there's a lot of options you can play around with. What's most important to me is that you get the photos in a group. We've got the photos in this group. I'm going to hit Save, which is the blue button in the top right corner. And now I have a preview of what my site looks like. I've got the Rule of Thirds header, and I've got my photos as a part of it. The last thing I need to do is add a caption so my viewers know what this assignment is about. And the nice thing is I have all the captions already made for you. You may have to add or tweak the text a little to make it more personal, but the assignments themselves are in the Google Doc that I sent you. And you can copy and paste that text. I'm going to show you how to do that. So underneath these photo grid, you'll see this little option on your screen to add a caption. So I'm going to go back to my Google Doc. I'm going to say, scroll down to page 3 in my assignment, my creating my portfolio assignment. And I'm going to go here to this text. I'm going to highlight it with my mouse to select it. I'm going to copy it. If you're on a Mac, you can hit, I believe it's Command C will copy text, but you can also go here up to the menu under your Google Docs, and you can go to Edit, Copy. Then you can go back to your Spark page if you're on a laptop, and where it says Caption, you can go up to the top of your browser and you can go to Edit, Paste. And there you have the text, nice and neatly in there. And in this assignment, I don't need to personalize it. The text is really kind of straightforward. It just talks about how this assignment uses the Rule of Thirds and what the Rule of Thirds is. And I have my first part done. Well, we're going to stop there today. Want to make sure that you're able to get at least one assignment up. Remember, your goal by the end of the week is to have 3 assignments curated, your best work for this particular piece. Now, the last thing I'm going to do before I stop today is I'm going to go up to share this. And you'll remember, in order to share it with me, you have to create a link and copy and paste that link to the assignment. So I am going to publish and share the link. When I hit publish, it says, oh, we noticed you made some changes from last time. So I'm going to hit update that link. And the first thing it's going to do is update the link so my newest changes are saved. And then I'm going to copy that link. And I'm going to go into my Google Classroom and paste that link into the assignment. And then your teacher, me, Miss H, will have it so that I can see that you did the first part of your portfolio. Thanks for watching. The next video is going to show you how to do this exact same thing on a phone. So remember, this can be done on a laptop or an iPad, or it can also be done on your phone. All right, I'll see you guys soon.